Got it. We're live. Oh my goodness, there we are. You never know, like there's all these moving parts. How you guys doing? Welcome to your weekly training. I wanted to go over a few things today. Those of you that know me know that I like to dive deep into all things real estate investing, and typically my trainings each week, Wednesday here in the afternoon, here on the East Coast, and probably just starting the afternoon on the West Coast there, is typically what I've been hearing the buzz happening in the background. So I'm on a lot of calls. I connect with each one of you individually. At some one point in time or another, we've connected. I've asked questions. We've talked about deals. We've talked about your life, my life. Like, we've had intimate conversations. And so these trainings are kind of revolved around those conversations. And what I heard was two things. One was how to be a private money lender. And the other one was how to find private money lenders. So I thought I would kind of combine it all into the one here today. And so if that's something you've been wanting to hear about, know about, learn about, I mean, type in the comments, like, what is that something you want to be, something you want to find, like what? And here's the thing, you can have it all. Focus is all that I ask that you do. Choose, pick a horse and ride. Just do what it takes to move the needle, right? So currently right now in our group, we're studying like how to catapult ourselves into the realm of possibilities. And, you know, anything's possible if you put your mind to it. Absolutely anything is possible. And what happens is life keeps us stuck, keeps us playing small. And so that was another thing that we've been going around about in the different conversations I've had is how do I get to that realm of possibility, right? And today it's the possibility of being a private money lender or finding a private money lender to fund your deals. So with that being said, I'll give you the spoiler alert. It's easier than you think. And it doesn't have to be your money if you want to be a private money lender. So the very first thing I wanted to talk to you about is the understanding of it. So understanding how private money lender works. We call that other people's money. So I'm an investor and I use other people's money to invest in real estate, and vice versa, right? And the reason we do this, and this is what I thought when I first started in real estate investing, is I need a ton of money to do real estate, right? How do I get a ton of money to do? And again, a ton is defined by what, but that's what we think, right? I thought I needed a ton of money in order to do real estate investing, and it's just simply not true. Okay, what you need is resources, a team, a community that can support you with all the different things that are needed to do real estate investing. What I found was that even the investors that do, 10 deals a month, right, don't use their own money. Okay, so if advanced investors are not using their own money, why do people starting off brand spanking new think that they need money in order to do real estate investing? Just saying. So think about that for a second. So private money lending, the reason we don't use our own money is because as soon as you have your money and you put it on a project, it's now in jail and you can't get it out. You can't get it out, right? And you're banking on appreciation that it grows. And hopefully you can refinance it, or you're going to sell it for that big profit to get it back. Right? So some of the things to think about. Yeah, okay, I got a little note here thing. But basically, being a private money lender, you can go as little as $2,000, right? We call that gap funding. Okay, we call it gap funding. So you could be like the earnest money deposit, on a deal. And then when the deal closes, you get paid back plus a fee. Okay, so it could be that simple. And it could be on a 6-month project, doing a flip, right? Or it could be as long as being in an apartment complex for 5 to 7 years and getting a return on your investment, getting dividends either monthly, quarterly, whatever it ends up being for that deal. So there's multiple ways to be entertained as a private money lender. What I've heard from some is 10,000 enough? Yes, it is. Is 100,000 enough? Yes, it is. Is $1 million enough? Yes, it is. Again, if you could do it as little as $2,000, obviously the least amount you put in is the least amount of return you're going to get, right? The more you put in, the more you'll get back. All right. So that's just a little understanding on being a private money lender in different areas, right? Different levels and in different time frames. Okay, so what you're going to think to yourself is the money coming out of a HELOC? Is it coming out of an IRA? Is it coming out of my mattress? Is it in the bank account? Where's the money coming from? It's going to dictate how it needs to grow. Okay, so if it's coming out of a HELOC, for example, and your HELOC is at 8%, that means you need at least 9% return on investment so that it's paying for it to be out. Okay, so just a little bit of math. I'm not going to get too far in the weeds with this, but traditional banking is a qualification, right, of you as a person, your credit, your monies, the asset, all of those things combined. In a private money lender, okay, it's basically this. It's a handshake. That's a private money lender. Yes, I want to do the deal. And that's the qualification. And then you write up the contract accordingly, according to your conversation. Okay, there's no pulling credit. There's no fees, upfront fees. So if someone's asking you to pay a fee, do a background check, or pull your credit, and they say they're a private money lender, they're not. So that's a red flag. Okay, so don't play that game. If you are want to be a private money lender, you're basically doing it on a handshake of an agreement, and then the asset protects you. That's how you stay in the real estate deal, right? So you're backed by an insured, you're insured and secured by a deed of trust. You're backed by the asset that will help secure your money. So some of the pros and cons of this, you can get a higher return on investment, okay? You get to choose who you're going to work with. You don't have to, like, you could do it on personality if you want. That could be your qualification if you like them or not. Obviously, understanding the deal, knowing where the deal is, this also helps you, right? So if you understand where the deal is, where it is today, understanding the ARV, where it's going to grow to, and that your money is safe coming back at a designated time. Maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's a year. Okay, so understanding that is that's the collateral of your money. It is secured by the assets. So no matter what I do, if I get hit by a Mack truck, the money is still safe in the asset, right? If I don't pay the bill, they can foreclose on me and get the asset. So either way, their money is protected, regardless of me as a human being. Okay, so just different ways of how I work with my lenders. So if you want to be a private money lender, know that you're insured and secured by a deed of trust. You do not, here's a red flag for you, you do not hand cash over to somebody to do a deal. It is all done through title and escrow. You are on the deed of trust. You have a mortgage note. that says you're getting paid such and such on this property. If you do it outside of escrow, you're really not protected as much. Do deals still happen that way? Absolutely, right? You can do it asset-based, or you can do it on personal credit, like a credit card is, right? It's a non-recourse loan. Okay, it's not really attached to anything. They're not going to take your house. Whereas a mortgage, they will take your house, right? That's a recourse loan. So you get to understand those two different things to know where your money is and how it's safe. Okay, so a con could also be liquidity. Maybe you need to get a hold of your money right away. You can't get it that quick. It's not an ATM. You can't go there. So I have money lenders on my properties, and they're like, you know what? I need my money out. They need to give me 60 to 90 days to make sure I can go and replace it. Okay, so and that's in the contract. So it's not like an ATM where they could just go get their money back the next day or that moment. So it takes time. So it's not liquid. Okay. Know that there's legal compliance and setting terms. Okay, so you as a money lender, you are lending to a human being that is going to pay you back at this rate at this time, and it is secured by this building, and there's this insurance on it. So just know the legalities of what's going on with that particular property before you agree to give money over. And then knowing the credibility of the person. So I have a ton of credibility, so that part's easy. But what if the person doesn't have credibility, right? So let me give you an example of that. If let's just say this is what I tell people all the time, always be speaking real estate. You'll be amazed at all the resources that come over to you. And one of my investor friends, he had been trying to do deals. He had been evaluating and saying, well, this was a good deal. I just couldn't get the money. How many of you have ever done that, right? Like, this is a good deal. I just need to find the money. It happens. I get it. But sometimes the first, second, or even fifth time you do that, you still don't have the money. Okay. And all of a sudden there's this private money lender. And I know you guys are sitting there right now looking at me going, well, I'm a private money lender. Or I got money. You don't even know that you're a private money lender yet, right? You're just like, well, I have money, right? And this is what happened to my friend. His friend was listening to him complain about how he didn't have the money for any of these deals. And he finally came up to him and said, well, I have 250,000. Let's make this happen. And so that began his career and changed his whole life. But had he not been doing deals, had he not been talking about real estate, talking about his deals, talking about his vision of real estate investing, his friend would have never paid attention, and he'd have never offered up his 250,000. So that switches us over to like how you find private money lenders, as well as being a private money lender. That's what you listen for, right? You can see that they're doing the numbers. Okay. It's when nobody's taking action, real estate's not being talked about, deals aren't being ran, that nobody speaks up and says anything, whether it's your friends, your family, you're in a networking group. It doesn't matter where you're at. If you're not speaking about deals, if you're not understanding how deals work, nobody is going to want to lend to you. Okay, so hopefully the finding private money lenders helps you to understand to always be running deals, running the numbers, right? They're listening, okay? And if you're a private money lender, listen for those things. Listen to them running the deals. And your education of running deals and knowing that there's an ARV to this, knowing what the market price is and what's in between, that's kind of some basic math to know when you're lending, all right? I'm not going to get into all the nuances of private money lending, but those are just the surface level that I can give you right away without knowing your situation, right? Because each thing is different. Every escrow is like a fingerprint. They're all different. So what to look for, right? You're looking for the deal. You're looking for the numbers, all right? To know that you want to even lend on. You're looking for the credibility, right? And the credibility of someone who hasn't closed on something yet is they've been running the deals, right? And you see the numbers yourself and you become a part of that project. Okay, so evaluating the borrower's deals is important to know. Like, it's a quick conversation, really. So what is it roughly? Tell me. And then the borrower says, here's the numbers, boop, boop, boop. Okay, great. And then you assess the location, go, yep. Like, so there's part of this is your risk too, right? Is it a valuable asset or not? Is it a house in the middle of the desert all by itself and nothing is surrounding it? That's not a good thing to invest in, right? If you're seeing that deals are being made all day long in this area, even if they're brand new, you know your money is protected, right? So if you don't have the money to lend and you know someone who does, you can actually broker that to that person. Did you guys catch that? It doesn't even have to be your own money that you lend. So I can talk all day about this, but I'm going to keep it short and sweet because these are our little trainings that give you a next step. It's not a full in-depth, it's a next step. And to ask questions. So if you have questions, put them in the comments so that I can see them and address them. And that's where these trainings come from. Okay. And then, so I have one that I took over subject to, two of them I did just recently. And I have a loan servicer on it. So that private money lender is getting paid through a third party. So you don't have to worry about, is it getting paid? Where's the automatic stuff happening? It is done through a third party servicer so that everyone that's involved feels taken care of, right? They don't have to worry, are you a good bill payer? Are you going to pay on time? Right? If you have no credibility whatsoever, these are questions that people ask. Okay, so you as a private money lender, okay, what is the credibility of the person that you're lending to? And knowing that you're going to get your payments each month, if that's the setup, or here's how it happens. And it's a couple of different ways. You could get monthly payments, you can get quarterly payments, and you can get paid at the sale or refinance of the property, both the principal and the interest. Typically, they're interest-only loans, and then the property takes care of paying back the principal and the interest. Okay, so I know this is a lot. I love to talk numbers all day long, and it can be a little intricate with the ins and outs of how this works. But remember, education is ongoing. Okay, being a private money lender, understanding your investments, it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve along with everything, but repetition is the mother of all learning. Okay, so you can even have like a real estate attorney look over all the contracts. So I'm in an attorney state, so everyone title is an attorney, so they're looking over all my documents. I have my own promissory note, and it goes, it looks very similar, it has the same terms as what we would put on there. It's perfect. Okay, great. We sign, everything's good. So just know that being a private money lender is simple, but scary and risky. Know that real estate investing is a risk, okay, regardless of what you're doing, what exit strategy you're doing. But being a private money lender is a very passive way of doing real estate. Some people wait to build up to it. Some people do it right away. Some people borrow money to be a private money lender, right? And those of you that are looking for private money lenders, get good at the deals, right? Run the numbers, let people know that you're in this for the long haul. Okay, not just going, oh, well, nobody will talk to me, you know, or I don't have any deals because I don't have any money. That is so negative, right? We as private money lenders want to see you doing the work. Whether you've never closed on a deal or not, we're willing to lend on the dedication and if the asset makes sense. Okay, private money lenders are looking at you. If you ever go, here's one more red flag, and I'll leave you with this. If you're in a networking meeting and someone raises their hand and says, I'm a private money lender, come get me. Do not. Do not. Private is the key word there. They're not hailing in front of a whole crowd that they have tons of money to lend out. That's a hard money lender. Okay, so I've noticed a lot of hard money lenders, which you'll be charged immensely for. Do not, no fees up front, no application fees. Don't pay for anything. If you're looking for a private money lender and someone raises their hand, they're a hard money lender, right? It's the ones that have a private conversation with you. So private money lenders, listen to this. Have a private conversation with someone you think is credible and you want to be a part of the deal. You do not raise your hand and say, I have money to lend. Everyone, it's like winning the lotto, right? And all of a sudden everyone says, could you give me 100,000? You know, like, stop. Why? Why would I give you anything? Nobody raises their hand and says, I have millions to give you. So just know that a private money lender is not going to do that. It's private. Okay. As much as public record is, it's still private. Okay. So stick with me on that part. If you guys have any questions about being a private money lender, there are pros, there are cons. It is an investment. It is a risk, just like any other investment out there in the world. To be a private money lender and to know that you do not have to have money in order to lend money. You could broker it and get be the project manager of that money. And those of you looking for private money lenders, go out there and master the deals, master the numbers, know your numbers. When they see that you know your numbers and you're dedicated, private money lenders just pop up. They just do. Okay, but do the work. I hope this was helpful. Type in the comments if you got any value, and I will see you on the next training. Bye.